Good evening, Gabby.
Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Currans, the Curran View with the Isle of Hillsborough, Mr. Terry Curran. How are you, son? Steady away?
Yes, steady away, as you would say. Just watching this Newcastle and Paris Saint-Germain game.
Yeah, that was the first question I was going to say to you. What game have you got on? What game do you think I've got on?
I would say the same.
No, I've got Man City on because Grealish is starting.
All right.
If Grealish wasn't starting, I would have watched Paris Saint-Germain versus Newcastle. But when Jack plays, I always like to watch Jack. Him and Cavascalia are my two favourite players.
I think this is a bit more important game in a sense. I mean,
Yeah,
City's already qualified, haven't they?
Yeah, I just like to watch Jack.
You know. Listen, so do I. But I tell you what, I'm very impressed with that Dooku at City. Very impressed with him.
Very good. Very, very different though, TC, isn't he? He's a winger.
Yeah, but
Grealish is a midfield player.
There's nobody stuck up for Jack more than me.
Yeah.
But he doesn't run past people like he used to do at Villa.
He's not a winger,
Is that Guardiola's fault? That Jack's got himself in a not a tiz wars, but in a to keep inside it, to be on the right side of Guardiola.
Yeah.
That he passes the ball, because you've seen him even have a go at people like De Bruyne for not passing it.
Yeah,
Guardiola.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I've always said Jack would be the midfielder for me.
100%.
He's got. I think he's wasted that on any wing. I think he's wasted.
100%.
I think he can play there, but I think he's wasted there.
100%. So I'd play him in a central role in midfield. I'd never put Jack on that wide left position as a winger, because I don't think Grealish has got the natural attributes of a winger. Yeah, I mean, he's not slow, but he's not quick. He's playing off his other foot. He's right-footed, and he's playing on the left. And when Jack gets the ball, he always has two or three players on him anyhow, so he'll just play a simple ball. Whereas Villa, difficult, different game.
And when he's playing there, it's easier for teams to stop the ball going out.
Absolutely.
Make no mistake on that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right. But when he plays central, somebody like him what plays central, because of his low. Well, when I say central, I'd play him just like they'd like to do with Messi. Just let him play.
I would, yeah. But I'd play him
because
as he did
can go
with
left,
Villa.
he can go right. Yeah. He's got that little drop of that little feint which can send him going for a dummy to Boots' shop. He's got that everything. It's just for me, I wouldn't play him in that position.
No, neither would I. No, neither would I. I just think that you aren't going to get the best out of Grealish when you play him in that position. But, Pep plays him there. Dean Smith played him there before. I think sometimes you're a victim of your own success, because Villa were playing a certain way, wanted to move Jack further up the pitch. They played him there. And I just think that, when you've got the abilities and all the attributes that Grealish has got, you would want that player in a more central, pivotal role. But again, that is my opinion.
Yes.
And I'm glad you shared it. But I just, for the life of me...
But we've never spoke about that.
No.
I think we've never spoke about it.
Yeah.
We both spoke about not playing him there. Yes, we have.
But why
not in the sense that, no, we don't talk about it before we come on air.
No, absolutely. I just don't get why Pep plays him there and then he would play Rico Lewis in a central midfield. I don't get it, but then again, Pep's won umpteen titles, etc., and what have you. And we're talking on the phone watching him.
Anybody can criticise anybody because of the right to do that.
Absolutely.
But when you win,
yeah,
when you win the games he wins,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's, you can say what you want. He's right because he gets it right.
Yeah.
More often than not. He's more consistent than any other manager in the world.
100%. But again, I would just like to see Jack playing a midfield role in a central, getting the ball on the half turn, running at players, opening up defences, and putting those slide rule passes through to his central strikers. And in Ireland, he's got the ideal player
from a central position.
Absolutely, too. But I go back. I just don't get why managers play Grealish in that position. But, there you go. Magic moments, T. I'm saying magic moments with a smile on my face. If we were on YouTube, you would see a right cheeky smile. What magic moments have you sourced for us this week at Goodison?
We should get put in jail. Right. I think there's loads and loads and loads and loads of fans up and down the country would go with that Garnacho's goal. With it's. I mean, they all going about Rooney's. Rooney's is it? Rooney on his
Shin. Yeah.
Shin. He's caught that perfect, absolutely perfect. But these stacks of goals I could have gone for again.
Yeah.
I mean, that Olise for Palace was a great goal. Luton's winner. I really should have looked him back up again. The pass for the second goal for Luton's winner.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, because they're killer balls. They're absolutely killer balls.
Yeah.
And you cannot defend that.
No, you're taking players out and you just put it on a plate.
Those are the two, and I've thrown that in. The pass, but I apologise because I did research it, and but I've had things to do tonight, and I forgot the kid's name who put the ball through for the winner. But it was a sublime ball. If anyone wants to go and watch it on YouTube.
By the way, you are going on the 9th, the 10th. No, 10th is a Sunday. You're going on the 9th, aren't you, to Stoke City with Alan Hudson?
Yeah, I've spoke to young Alan Monday.
Yeah.
I've got a hospital telephone call on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And obviously about the operation I had on my chest.
Yes, yeah.
I've got to have one on my backside.
Yes.
And I don't know whether they're going to have me in.
Right.
So, but I'm letting him know tomorrow. But all being well, I'm going to try and get it off till after Christmas. But it all depends on what they say to me tomorrow.
Absolutely.
If they say to me, I've got to go, they want me in, then I'm going to have to go in because obviously, it was the worst one of the two with the cancer tissue, which they wanted to remove.
Mm-hmm.
But I was more than watching the game, to be honest. I'm looking forward to meeting Alan. I met him once when he was at the races at Stafford when I was with Bawley. I mean, he can't remember it, but I was only a young kid then, whereas he was a superstar. So you never forget certain things in life. So even for that, I want to get and have a night out with him and young Alan.
Absolutely, and, he's looking forward to it. That boy's looking forward to it. I texted him today, and I said, "You okay for My Life, My Music on the 10th out on the Sunday?" And he said, "No, I can't. It's Terry Curran night."
Yeah.
I said, "Right." He said, "I'm in Stoke. We'll do it the week after." So he's looking to make a night of it, and I thought, I wouldn't fancy being Terry Curran.
I'm hoping, and I'm because now my chest is perfect. Not perfect. I'm telling a lie. It's not perfect, but
it's getting there.
It's 100% better.
Yeah.
I keep getting little pulls inside, but she did say to me on Friday, that's the healing under the skin now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was supposed to go through, to be honest, tomorrow. Yeah. And then they phoned me back and said, we'll do a consultation over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be wanting to put it off until after Christmas anyway. So but I would say 98% I'll be going to the game Stoke and having a great day and a great night with Alan and young Alan.
Leipzig have just taken the lead. It's 1-0. Bad defending really. He's broken the lines and composed himself very nice. A Pender and tucks it into the onion bag. Akanji's looking up to the sky. He knows he's made a massive mistake. But I think it's going to be a great night. Going on the Raz with not one Hudson but two Hudsons. He's like he should be carrying a government health warning because
Both
gets
of
messy
his
with
sons
him
sound
too.
like Alan, don't they? I
Yeah,
was listening to.
I posted it up on the Curran View.
Yeah.
Anthony, he done that piece. Yeah, they do very much sound like Alan. My magic moments, TC. I couldn't not look at Garnacho's goal for Manchester United against Everton. Absolutely fantastic. But when you do listen to the, I say Johnny Come Latelys, because most of the broadcasters that you listen to on TV and radio are probably millennials. Don't really know much about football. In fact, when I was listening to the broadcast here, they're unveiling a statue at the Etihad this evening. Franny Lee, Mike Summerby, and Colin Bell, and she got the name wrong. But again, these people are getting paid vast amounts of money, and they are pretty damn clueless. Klaus Fischer in 1977 was probably the first exponent of the bicycle kick that I saw. What was the first time that you saw a bicycle kick to score a goal? Because Klaus Fischer not only did it in 1977, he done it for Germany as well in 1982. And I remember watching that on Football Focus as a kid in 77.
I saw 1 or 2 in the World Cup and European Championships when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
I saw Dennis Stewart score for Manchester City in a cup final.
Absolutely, 76.
Those ones I posted up, it was a clip what had been put together.
Fantastic.
And I enjoyed watching it. I put it up. But then somebody wrote, Trevor Sinclair won against for QPR.
Yeah, David wrote put that up, didn't he?
Yeah. And he's right, because but I didn't put it together. It was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I just posted it up.
Yeah.
But there'll be plenty of overhead kick goals. You know what weren't put into that clip, but obviously somebody's put it together, and I put it on. That's Trevor Sinclair goal. Overhead kick is absolutely unbelievable one and all. Because that had got pace and everything, hadn't it?
Yeah, it had. Who was the first goal scorer of the year? Who invented the bicycle kick?
Dennis Law.
No, Leonardo da Silva, a Brazilian. But if you
Dennis Law scored a few of them, you know.
Yes, he did. Dennis Law used to like the bicycle kick. Dennis Law was just absolute quality, wasn't he? Sheer class. The Lawman could do anything.
Listen, you could just go and watch him play with just putting his shirt over his arm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that always sticks out. Because I think he was the first one I always had his shirt over his fingers.
He did, yeah. He got that from Italy, didn't he, when he went out there and it was cold, and he pulled that and he'd just rub it over his nose. Apparently that's why the Lawman did that. But what a player! But if you do talk to Peter With, he tells a lovely story about Doug Ellis, how he tried to convince Peter that he invented the bicycle kick for Southport many years ago. that was deadly, Doug. Pete does laugh about that, but I think it was Leonardo da Silva, but the Lawman, a great exponent of the bicycle kick, as was the latest genius of the Red Devils, Garnacho. I do think he looks a player, by the way. I've seen him a few times. He had that goal disallowed against Arsenal, which that's a brilliant pass by Lewis. Bad control by Haaland for a change. But Garnacho, I've seen him a few times and it really looks a player inside, that boy.
The position where he plays, like he's played for Man United, like Jack does for Manchester City, he looks brilliant one minute and then he looks good the next. He never looks average. But the wide areas are the hardest to perform
consistently,
week in and week out. I'm not making excuses for that.
No.
You know, every other position you're facing, and you're not when you're playing in that position, you doubled and sometimes treble marked.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Michael Elise, his goal for
who's the little the black lad for Man United? He's only a young lad.
I
He's a
didn't
hell of a
see
player, him.
I didn't see the game, but he's been getting rave reviews.
Yeah, he's a player.
Yeah.
Player. He sees that killer ball, Gabby.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look next time. Again, what I do when I hear of a player or see a player, I go and watch that player again. Hence why I'm watching City tonight because Grealish.
This young lad at Newcastle looks like a player and all.
Yes, yeah, was it Lewis Miley?
Yes.
How has he started tonight? 'Cause I was going to watch him, but when Jack's playing, I always watch Jack. I should be watching Napoli away in Madrid tomorrow night.
Like I just said to you, I just thought that City wouldn't want to get anyone injured. I'm not saying they'll not try and want to win it, but I don't think they'll take the risks and put the put the effort in, but they won't put I don't think they'll put the commitment in because they've already qualified.
Yeah, there's no real jeopardy on the game, is there, for City? And when there's jeopardy on the game, it's completely different balance to it. But Elise's goal, you did reference it earlier, his goal for Crystal Palace against Luton. I really like this boy. I think he's a tremendous football player. And what a left foot he's got, hasn't
he? Yes, without a question of a doubt.
I like Eze as well. I do like Palace. I did hear on radio the other day where somebody had phoned up and they were questioning Crystal Palace, their ambitions and how far that they can go and what they actually do when they play a game of football. And because Roy usually sets his teams up not to get beaten, he's a little bit conservative, shall we say, as a manager. I don't like him. I've never liked Roy Hodgson. I've never got the love in with Roy Hodgson. I would prefer a manager that's got more about him, that gets the players playing on the front foot. And I think that's what Crystal Palace need. Whether Patrick Vieira was that man, I don't know. But they do need a man like that can get the most out of Crystal Palace's players. I think they've got some great players.
I think they were a bit harsh with because everybody hits that bad run.
Absolutely,
and I think the players did like him.
Yeah.
I mean, for Roy Hodgson to be giving his team performs like they do at times at his age, you know, and I'm not knocking age because I'm an old man myself.
Yeah, same here.
You know, the young kids are a different breed altogether now, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
You know, but they do. They've got some good players at Crystal Palace. Now, the first point of that question you asked, you know, about how far can they go? What they don't want to be doing is going into scenarios like they did years and years ago, where they didn't go bankrupt, but they had no money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if they can keep in the Premier League, try and win a cup competition, and finish as high as possible as they can.
Yeah,
I think that's a great season for Crystal Palace and the fans.
Absolutely.
And I tell you what, it's a tremendous atmosphere there. You know,
I love the Crystal Palace.
I mean, in fact, I can remember Palace beating Burnley 52,000 people. There were a night game when they got promotion against Burnley. I can remember that. Yeah. You know, but it's a great ground to play at that.
And we're glad all over. I think brilliant. Yeah, exactly. I think it's brilliant. I do like Palace, and I just think that with a more positive manager, I think Palace. I ain't saying Palace are getting the top 4 or top 6, but what I would say is Palace should give a game to anybody, and particularly
on the day, even with the top teams.
Absolutely,
you know, because they've got that quality in there.
100%, and even if it's Man City, Arsenal, or Liverpool going to Selhurst Park, they're going to go there, and they know they're going to be under the cosh because Palace are on the front foot, and I think that's the one thing that Roy Hodgson has never done. I think he fears fear. He's a fearful manager, and I don't like him. I don't like managers like that. I did like Taylor Gardner-Hickman's goal for Bristol City the weekend. Oh, what a joy. I mean, he's got the ball, he's coming, he's just pinged it bar and in the back of the net. I just think that we've spoken about this before. When you hit the bar and it goes in the net, it just is something a little bit more spectacular. And that was a great goal. Bristol City, Taylor, Gardner, Hickman. Sounds like 3 players, but it's the same player.
You see, the pace when the ball hits the bar and bounces down and goes in.
Yeah.
You can see like by that ball's been travelling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yes, without a question of a doubt.
You know, when we were playing at whatever level where you're playing in your park with your mates, school team, Sunday league team, over the park, you know, whatever it would be in little and five, you hit that bar and back of the net. I just think it's a greater thrill. But you know, that's just me. Rest in peace, Teddy Venables.
Yes, we should have said that first and foremost, shouldn't we? Really?
But we're going to dedicate the podcast to the memory of TV. What a legend! Not just as a manager, not just as a coach.
He's a top player, you know.
But absolutely, but as a player as well. Teddy Venables, arguably the most complete football person that's ever walked on a football pitch in this country.
Well, what I would say about him, I enjoyed watching England play under him more than any other manager.
100%.
Barring the 1970 World Cup team, what went to got knocked out by Brazil, by
Germany and Leon.
Germany in the quarterfinals when they were 2-0 up.
Yeah,
they played some great football. Did England back then? But Venables, I mean, that when Princess Diana lost her life in that car accident in '96, Euro '96.
Yeah, Euro '96, Terry Adders.
You know, the Wembley crowd singing "He's Coming Home" and just a fraction. You'd want anybody there, like Gaza, wouldn't you? You'd take even Gaza as a midfield player. You could say Shearer or Sheringham. But when Gaza just missed it, you think, how's that? How's he just? I don't know how he missed it. Because the pace of the ball's beat him more than anything else. But I would say he's the best we've had.
Yeah, I would definitely say Terry Venables is the best manager that we've had in my lifetime.
Newcastle's gone 1-0 up.
Oh, well done, Newcastle. Who scored it? Isaac.
Yes, Isaac.
Okay. I mean, again, he's a player. I do like him, Isaac. But going back to Terry Venables, when people talk about the golden age of football and eulogise about Gareth Southgate's group of players, which are very good, I think we have got a great group of footballers. I think we're quite. We got depth as well. We've got a good 23.
He just hasn't got that quality to take us on to the next level.
I'd love Venables to be able to take this on.
I've never really been a big lover of Sam Allardyce's football.
Yeah.
But at Bolton, Sam plays some of the best football than a lot of English managers.
Yeah,
because he got that JJ coach.
Yeah.
He signed the kid from Birmingham who you had. What was the French kid's name? I forget his name now. Excuse me, I've got something stuck up back in my throat.
We had. Are you talking about?
Come on.
Oh God, the black lad that almost died.
No. Oh yeah, Kocher was the black lad. The French kid. You had in Birmingham.
No. You're thinking of Dugarry. He had Jokiev.
Jokiev, that's right.
Jokiev,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He had Jokiev.
Keeper made a mistake.
Yeah. He had Jokiev and Okocha. I mean, JJ Okocha, what a player. Again, he's one that gets forgotten, but what a footballer he was.
You see, this is what I'm saying to you. Because he was, for some unknown reason, he never played with one of the big clubs, did he?
No,
in Europe, I'm talking about.
I've got no idea. Did they buy him from Paris Saint-Germain?
They may have done, but
yeah,
I don't think he was in. I don't think he was in the team a lot, was he?
No, he was.
If he'd have been playing with one of the top teams, we'd have been talking about him like the other elite players what's played at the ice level.
Yeah, he's one of them that you kind of don't hear mentioned, but you know, when you remember him and when you watch JJ Okocha, you think, I mean, what a football player. Some of the things he done with the ball when he was at Bolton, you you actually don't see anybody in the Premier League, and I mean nobody in the Premier League, do anything like what JJ Okocha did back in those days. He was sublime.
No. He'd got tremendous natural flair and talent.
But we don't see natural flair and talent, really. I know that people go on and say Premier League's best in the world. Yeah, I mean, it may well be. But we don't see that much skill in the Premier League compared to what we used to see. I don't think. I don't think we have those players.
Well, we won the old European Cup more times than we have won the Champions League, I would imagine.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
But I was reading Cafu when you put it up on the Curran view, and they were about he don't think Brazil will win a World Cup.
Cafu, yeah.
But, well, when I read that, I thought part of it, what he's saying is right. I could never say that they will never win it because they've got that much technical ability. They don't let themselves. The Brazilian players have never let themselves go like they do on continent or in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll showboat, they'll do everything. But in here,
they
get pulled down by the critics all the time.
Yeah, they conform.
Pundits,
mm-hmm.
You know, and the managers and the coaches.
Yeah.
You know, for some unknown reason, there's still, even now, the foreign coach, a lot of the foreign coaches always talk about up and at them, don't you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
An effort.
Yeah, I think it's been watered down. I think the Brazilian skill.
I think that's what pulls them down because they just love to go out and play football and play with a smile on their face.
But when was the last time that you saw a Brazilian team go out and play with that samba beat? Because I haven't seen them for some time.
I could never understand. Just like the kid at, and I know they won a World Cup, but maybe they've won 2 World Cups now, or European Championships, the French team. What was the Brazilian? Dunga.
Yeah, Dunga, yeah.
You know, the manager, and I tell you what, I've never seen a negative Brazilian team in all my life until I saw Dunga's team.
Yeah.
You know, and I like Dunga as a player because he was that oldie type of midfield player, the French kid, like the French manager. What's his name?
Kid that played Didier Deschamps.
Deschamps. Mm-hmm. You know, because I like all different types of players. I really do. I like all the midfield players because they can link up by protecting the back four, which is the job to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got back four players, what can come out and play with the ball, and then they can drop in. But they can, if they're the good ones, what playing the ball forward, and we're not talking about long balls, and there's no wrong with the long ball at the right time.
Yeah.
But for me, Brazil's the players what's playing in Europe, and maybe more so in Premier League, don't play with a smile on their face.
No, they don't. No.
Like they do, or like they did.
Like Ronaldinho, for instance, always had a smile on his face. Romario was another one. Ronaldo.
I mean, I go back with Gino, Rivellino, Tostao, and Pele, all of them. Carlos Alberto, Zico, Socrates, Eder. You can go on and on and on and on and on. Oof.
Absolutely. And you're right, I just don't see Brazil producing those players now or allowing those players to produce the gems that the Brazilians of yesteryear produced on football pitches. But you know, whether the Europeans have sterilised Brazilian football is another argument or a debate for another day. And I don't think Cafu's too far wide of the mark, to be quite truthful.
I will say that. I will say this. I think it's more when they're playing for the Spanish teams and the French teams.
Yeah,
they do play with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
It's just the English, even though it's got more technical in a sense, We're not talking, we're talking about with the coaching side of it now.
Yep.
But there's still that, when I say nervousness, fear in some players. They're frightened to do things because they're going to get a rollicking for it.
Leipzig are going 2-0 up again.
Whereas,
and to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRBmedia. Thank you.